Every component installed in a modern truck, from the engine block to the door handles, from the transmission programming to the infotainment screen, exists on that vehicle. Because someone in a conference room decided it would maximize the total amount of money extracted from you over the life of ownership. This is not cynicism. This is documented corporate strategy, discussed openly in automotive industry publications, taught explicitly in business schools, and implemented systematically by manufacturers, who have discovered that building trucks designed to fail profitably generates far better financial returns than building trucks designed to last indefinitely. The engineers working for these companies are extraordinarily talented, capable of creating virtually indestructible vehicles if that were the actual objective. But durability is not what their employers reward. They are incentivized to design components that will function adequately through the warranty period, then fail predictably shortly afterward, creating repair revenue, parts sales, and ideally, sufficient frustration that you trade in for a new truck and restart the entire profit cycle. Walk into any dealership service department on a Tuesday morning and watch what happens. Trucks arrive with check engine lights and transmission problems. These are not 10-year-old vehicles with 200,000 hard miles. These are 3- and 4-year-old trucks with 60 or 70,000 miles, still looking nearly new, mechanically disintegrating right on schedule. The service advisors show no surprise at these failures because they see identical problems daily. The technicians know exactly what failed before they even connect diagnostic equipment, because the failure patterns are that consistent, that predictable, that obviously engineered into the design. And when owners express shock that a $50,000 truck needs a $5,000 repair after just 3 years, the response is always the same sympathetic shrug. Our explanation that modern trucks are complex machines. These things happen. Would you like to discuss our extended warranty options? But these things do not just happen. They are made to happen deliberately, through engineering choices that prioritize planned obsolescence over longevity. Start with the most obvious example: the touchscreen that has replaced physical controls in virtually every new truck sold today. Manufacturers present these screens as premium features, luxury upgrades that justify higher vehicle prices and demonstrate technological sophistication. The reality is precisely opposite. Manufacturing a single large touchscreen costs dramatically less than producing 40 individual switches, buttons, and knobs, each requiring separate wiring. The touchscreen is a cost reduction measure disguised as a feature upgrade, and for the manufacturer, it delivers benefits far beyond initial production savings. That screen, mounted prominently in the center of your dashboard, will fail. Not might fail, will fail. The display technology degrades under constant exposure to sunlight. The cheap processors inside overheat and crash. The digitizer layers separate. The software becomes corrupted. And when this failure occurs, usually around 60 to 80,000 miles, conveniently just outside typical warranty coverage, you cannot simply replace a broken switch for $5. You must replace the entire infotainment module, a proprietary assembly that costs the dealership maybe $800 but sells to you for $3,000 to $4,000 installed. But the financial extraction goes deeper because modern trucks integrate critical vehicle functions into this screen. When the screen fails, you lose everything. When the screen fails, you lose heat, air conditioning, defrost, making the truck effectively undrivable in extreme weather. By integrating everything into one fragile component, manufacturers ensure that screen failure creates a crisis requiring rapid resolution, and you have no leverage to negotiate or shop around because your truck is genuinely unusable until the repair is completed. You pay whatever they demand, and the manufacturer profits. You pay whatever they demand, and the manufacturer profits. Now examine the engines installed in modern trucks and you will see the same pattern. To meet government fuel efficiency standards, manufacturers have abandoned the large displacement, naturally aspirated engines that powered trucks reliably for decades. A 5.7-liter V8 making 250 horsepower barely worked to move a half-ton truck, so everything inside that engine operated at stress levels guaranteeing hundreds of thousands of miles of life. Modern trucks use tiny turbocharged engines, 3.5-liter V6 motors making 400 horsepower, the same power output from engines 40% smaller. This sounds impressive until you understand what it means mechanically. Those small engines achieve high power only by running under constant extreme boost pressure, forcing far more air and fuel into cylinders than they would naturally ingest. The high cylinder pressures required to make big power from small displacement blow head gaskets, warp cylinder heads, and cause oil consumption as rings struggle to seal against pressures they were not designed to contain. That 3.5-liter V6 is working at maximum effort just to move a 6,000-pound truck at highway speeds, which means you are operating under high stress continuously, not just during occasional towing or acceleration. Turbochargers fail at 70,000 miles, requiring $3,000 replacements. Head gaskets blow at 80,000 miles, necessitating $4,000 engine repairs. Oil consumption becomes severe at 60,000 miles, forcing owners to add multiple quarts between changes or face complete engine destruction. These failures are not random defects. They are the predictable consequence of engineering choices manufacturers made knowing exactly what would happen, because the alternative, using larger, naturally aspirated engines that would last forever, would eliminate the repair revenue these failures generate. These failures are not random. They are the predictable consequence of engineering choices made knowing exactly what would happen. The transmissions in modern trucks follow identical logic. Traditional automatic transmissions used 4 or 5 gears, simple, durable, and rebuildable. Modern trucks use 8, 9, or 10-speed automatics with 17 different clutch packs, electronic solenoids controlling every shift, transmission control modules running complex software. Components are so tightly packed that complete disassembly is required to access anything. Manufacturers claim these deliver better fuel economy. The efficiency gains are real, measuring about 6% improvement compared to older 6-speed units. Building trucks designed to fail profitably generates far better financial returns than building trucks designed to last. This is the new automotive reality. Documented strategy, systematically implemented, extraordinarily talented engineers prioritizing planned obsolescence. This is documented corporate strategy. But this 6% efficiency improvement comes at the cost of reliability that has collapsed by orders of magnitude. Those 10-speed transmissions with their 17 clutch packs and electronic controls start shuddering and slipping at 50,000 miles. The repairs require complete transmission removal, disassembly, replacement of multiple clutch packs and solenoids, software reprogramming, and reassembly. The bills run between $6,000 and $9,000. And often, because the transmissions are so complex and tightly packaged, even dealership technicians struggle to repair them correctly, leading to repeat failures that require multiple repair attempts and weeks of shop time. You saved perhaps $200 in fuel costs over 3 years thanks to that 6% efficiency improvement, then paid $8,000 to repair the transmission that delivered those savings. The math is not complicated. You lost money, and the manufacturer made money on both ends, selling you the expensive transmission initially and then profiting again when it failed. But perhaps the most insidious wealth extraction system built into modern trucks operates completely invisibly, generating profit continuously without most owners ever realizing it exists. Every new truck sold today includes telematics hardware and a permanent cellular connection that monitors your driving behavior in extraordinary detail. How hard you brake, how quickly you accelerate, whether you exceed speed limits, when and where you drive, all of this data is captured continuously and transmitted to manufacturer servers. This surveillance happens without meaningful consent, because buried in the hundreds of pages of documents you sign at purchase is language granting the manufacturer permission to collect and monetize this data. You cannot disable these systems. The cellular connection is hardwired into critical vehicle systems, and cutting it would disable features you need. Recently, investigative reporting revealed that GM, Ford, and Stellantis had been selling this driving behavior data to companies like LexisNexis, who compile individual driver profiles and sell them to insurance companies. Drivers across America suddenly saw their insurance rates increase 30, 40, sometimes 50% despite having clean records. When they demanded explanations, they discovered their own trucks had been reporting them, creating secret driver scores based on algorithmic analysis of braking and acceleration patterns. The insurance companies then used these scores to justify rate increases, and the truck manufacturers profited by selling the data that enabled this exploitation. You paid $50,000 for a truck, and it repays you by spying on your driving and selling that information to companies that use it against you financially. This represents a fundamental shift in what vehicle ownership means. You do not actually own your truck in any traditional sense. You own the physical metal and plastic, but the manufacturer retains control of the software, the data, the features, everything that makes the vehicle functional. They can push software updates that change how it operates without asking permission. They can deactivate features remotely if you miss payments. They can monitor everywhere you go and sell that information for profit. You are not a truck owner. You are a subscriber to a mobility service, generating data and repair revenue continuously, and the $50,000 purchase price is just the entry fee to this extraction system. Now contrast this with trucks built before manufacturers discovered that planned failure generates better returns than quality construction. A 2006 Silverado with the iron block Vortec 5.3 and 4-speed automatic uses simple technology that seems primitive compared to modern standards. No touchscreen to fail. No turbocharged engine running under constant extreme stress. No 10-speed transmission with 17 clutch packs. No telematics system reporting your driving behavior. Just proven mechanical components engineered during an era when manufacturers still competed on durability. Because customers made purchasing decisions based on reliability reputation. That Vortec engine makes adequate power using low internal stress, meaning components last essentially indefinitely with basic maintenance. 300,000 miles is routine. 400,000 is common among trucks that receive regular oil changes. When components do eventually wear out, repairs are straightforward and inexpensive. A water pump costs $80 and takes an hour to replace. An alternator is $120 and 30 minutes of work. A starter is $90 and sits right on top of the engine, accessible without removing anything else. The 4-speed transmission is simple, durable, and completely rebuildable for $2,000 if you somehow manage to wear it out after 2 decades of use. The total cost of ownership over 10 years for this older truck is a fraction of what a modern truck costs, because you avoid the engineered failure points designed to generate repair revenue. No $3,000 touchscreen replacements. No $4,000 turbocharger failures. No $8,000 transmission rebuilds. Just basic maintenance and occasional replacement of normal wear items. But beyond the direct financial savings, you regain something even more valuable: actual ownership. The truck does what you tell it, goes where you drive it, and answers to nobody except you. No corporation monitoring your behavior. No data being sold to insurance companies. No remote software updates changing functionality. The machine belongs to you completely. This is why manufacturers work so hard to convince buyers that older trucks are inferior, unsafe, unreliable. They need you to believe that complexity equals progress, that technology automatically means better, that you must constantly upgrade to remain current. Because if you realize that simpler, older trucks are more reliable, you will stop buying new trucks entirely. You will exit the extraction system, stop generating repair revenue and data profits, and manufacturers lose their most valuable customer, who replaces trucks every few years. The engineering talent exists to build trucks that would last 50 years with minimal maintenance. The manufacturing capability exists to produce components that never fail. But building those trucks would destroy the business model that generates maximum profit. So instead, they build trucks designed to drain your wallet continuously. through planned failures, through surveillance and data sales, through proprietary parts and complex repairs, through subscription features and remote control. Every choice, every component, every line of code, optimized not to serve you but to extract maximum revenue from you. Understanding this changes everything about how you approach truck ownership. And once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. The question is whether you will continue participating in a system designed to exploit you, or whether you will seek the trucks built before profit optimization replaced quality as the ultimate objective.